18 minutes to 6. Keep the conversation going on Twitter. Don't forget the hashtag. It's Power Up. Right now, though, on to our next conversation. Richard Miyambu joins us on the line, a trustee of the Madonsi KNP Trust. Now, various communities have made land restitution claims against the Kruger National Park, which is one of the largest game reserves in Africa, covering an area of just under 20,000 square kilometers. The land claims against this national asset has sparked controversy on whether government has prioritized equitable land reform principles or whether communities have been taken for a ride. On the line, we are with Richard Miyambu, one of the communities that from the Madonsi KNP Trust, one of the communities that have a proven land restitution claim against the Kruger National Park, who will be talking to us right now. Richard, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you this morning?
I'm fine, and you, sir?
Great, and thank you so much for coming through to talk to us. Richard, maybe before we get into the issues of the claims, tell us a little bit about the Madonsi KNP Trust and your interest in this matter, in the Kruger National Park land restitution matter.
The Madonsi land claim, we started this from 1998, but we managed to get our we managed to get our settlement during 2016, during Mr. Zuma's time. So since then, they settled our land with about 610 rands. Meaning there will be an equitable redress. So from 2016 till today, nothing happened. Our kids are not benefiting anything from Kruger National. They don't hire our kids. They don't give us a business opportunity. There is business opportunity. They give people whom they know. I don't know who are they. It means that whatever we agreed, we're supposed to be partners in Kruger National Park. So it is frustrating the way it happens. So the worst part, when we think this is our own black people, our own black government, those who are trying to put some other black people aside. I don't know the way things is happening. Let me say this. Most of the people who started this, I think I can say 30% of them have passed away. So it is frustrating. We tried to talk to them. There was this beneficiation scheme. They tried by all means to create a beneficiation scheme without involving us. So when we ask, they tell us stories. As it is, as I told you that it is really, really. Let me say, it is disgusting the way things are happening there. The main problem, the government, our own, they don't monitor. There's a lot of things which is happening there. They don't monitor their project. If there was a monitoring system, I think things were supposed not to be like this.
So what I want to find out, Richard, is that, when you look at these claims and explaining how long it has been going, so what are some of these issues that have caused tensions between these communities? And you speak about the delays that are happening, but naturally the communities themselves, have raised a lot of issues as, in brackets, their representative. What are some of the issues that they have that they have raised that are causing these tensions?
Most of the issues that are causing, when they settled our land, they settled our land without our legal rep. You can't do such a thing like that. When we asked them, they said no. There is we will change it. There is a clause to review whatever if you are not happy. So that clause today, what they said, the minister said, but during that time. But now today, when we try to say this and that, they are always duck and diving, So it is hurting, As I'm speaking to you now, yesterday I had a meeting with the community. Some of the community, they think that we are not doing enough. Maybe Kruger National Park gave us a brown envelope. So by so saying, it caused the division amongst the communities, So we always fight, and we understand that Kruger National Park is a hub of our economy. You understand? We have to benefit also from Kruger National Park. What we agreed upon them, it is not happening. So it is frustrating, really, I'm telling you.
So is it about the fact that they're taking too much time, Richard, or at least we are at a point where there is some sort of disconnect between Sanparks, the Department of Environment, Forestry and Fisheries, and other government officials?
Let me say the government officials are not serious. They take us granted. That's what first of all, we negotiated with them. We wanted to create the beneficiation scheme without a legal advice until we said, no, we can't do this anymore. Let us get a legal advice. So when we get our legal, it's where things tend to be worse. They don't want to meet our legal advice. I don't know what do they want. They don't want to meet our legal advice. There is this thing, another thing. There was this Mala game reserve. They settled the Mala with about 75,000 rand. Meanwhile, they settled our land with 610 rand. So that is frustrating. So sometimes we think that, okay, let them come and then they buy us out with the current land value. If they can do that, then we will forget about them, So they don't want anything, so they want everybody to pass, to die before. There is this thing, they don't even want to give us a notarial title deed. The notarial title deed is something which will show our kids that our forefathers, once they claimed this land. It's a traceable way. So they don't want even to give us anything they don't want to give us anything there. So it is, really hating. In most of the women, old women, we have got kids. Let me say this. We have got kids who are unemployed in Limpopo and in Mpumalanga. There's a lot of unemployment. They don't employ our kids. As it is now, there's a lot of teenage pregnant. Most of the kids, they have one child, such a thing like that, and they are not employed. Some, they have got two. I think it's the way of they can make living, because when they have got one or two kids, they will get something from the grant from the government. It's painful if you can think such a thing like that. In Limpopo and Mpumalanga, our kids are lingering around, nothing they can do, but we have got a business opportunity which the officials from our own government are denying us. They always talk, hey, we the government, this and that, It is disgusting because their service is on lips. They just talk. We have, the government, we can do this and that. They don't do anything for the people. I think, let me say, they do this for themselves. I don't know how, but they don't for the people.
So would you say that it's a question of some stumbling blocks, in terms of just getting the right things done, or is there no will to deal with this matter? Because I would understand that this delays to a certain extent affect the community, and at least as you've just mentioned, the community's ability to generate some economic benefit from these claims.
I think there is people. Let me say that these guys, they have got their own interest in Kruger National Park. Most of the officials there, they have got their own interest in Kruger National Park. We try to get a mediator. The mediator has been there for only 6 months, and he didn't meet the communities. He didn't meet us, and then he resigned. He gets paid for nothing. The way things are happening there, it's hurting. So there is, as I said, they have got their own interest also. So how can we negotiate with someone who is having an equal interest with the community? That's why we demanded to have a mediator. Till today, they promised us that they will send a retired judge who will do this and that, but till today, nothing is happening.
So what's the next step then, Richard? Because we find ourselves now at a situation where it seems like the other parties are not willing to budge. What's the next step, as from yourselves and as the Madonsi KNP Trust?
The next step now, most of our people, especially youth, they wanted us to go and close the gate. So we don't want that, because when they do that, how these youth are, they will part the fence and do such a thing. We don't want to come to that step. So, like as we are speaking, I think this message, if it can reach our top dogs, because we once wrote a letter to the president. The Department of DEFF send the portfolio committee to us. Since they send the portfolio committees to us, nothing is happening. We are frustrated. They just say this and that, and then they don't come back to us. The time is going, the clock is ticking, and then, this year, let me say, we have lost, I don't know how many people. The people who have started this year only, and then most of the people, we are crying. The people are crying for their beloved land. So without land, nothing you can do. Land is a life. So we're supposed to have such a thing like that. The government can make this thing, this opportunity for themselves to do things for the community. So they can't do that. We say with that 610 they settled, we want to see an equitable redress. So that equitable redress, will change most of our families. It will change really, so they can.
Okay. Richard, we're going to have to leave it there, and I think we will follow it up. We'll try and get the other side of the story, but thank you so much for coming through to talk to us. So that's Richard Miyambu, who is a trustee of the Madonsi KNP Trust. As I did mention, that various communities have made land restitution claims against the Kruger National Park, one of the largest game reserves in Africa. And as I did mention, this is quite big, covering over 20,000 square kilometers. And these land claims, as usual, they've sparked a controversy on whether government has prioritized equitable land reform principles on whether communities have, or rather, whether communities have been taken for a ride. As I said, a conversation that we will get to the bottom of and get the other side of story and understand why there is that sort of a delay. Just about 3 minutes or so before we wrap up the show.